Good morning. We will start a new chapter, Number System, Session 1. So about number system, you have already studied about the basics in your 8th standard, that was about rational numbers. It is just a continuation of the same chapter. So before we actually start the chapter, let us understand few terms of this lesson, that is what are natural numbers, whole numbers, integers, rational numbers, irrational numbers and real numbers. Natural numbers, as you all know, all counting numbers are called as natural numbers, denoted by capital letter N, 1, 2, 3 and so on. Whole numbers, all natural numbers along with 0, that is together with 0, are called whole numbers, denoted by capital letter W along with 0, and the set of natural numbers are called as whole numbers. Integers, the collection of all whole numbers, 0, plus and minus. That is, it includes 0, it includes positive numbers as well as negative numbers. Such numbers are called as integers, denoted by letter Z. You might have studied about locating the integers or rational numbers on a number line. So we locate this as 0. To our left hand side, we have -1, -2. To our right hand side, we have +1, +2. So these are set of positive integers, set of negative integers. Set of only positive integers are denoted by Z plus. Set of only negative integers are denoted by Z minus. In together, integers are denoted by Z. So this is a definition for integers. Next, rational number. The number which can be expressed in the form of P by Q, where P and Q are integers and Q not equal to 0. Because if Q is equal to 0, then the number cannot be defined. So, where Q not equal to 0. So, what are integers? What are rational numbers? It is denoted by a letter Q. So, not by R. R is for real numbers. Denoted by letter Q. 0 is a rational number because you studied this in 8th. 0 is the only rational number which do not have its reciprocal, right? So, 1 is a rational number whose reciprocal is the same. Remaining -1 by 2, 2, 3 by 2, so on. These are the set of rational numbers. Irrational numbers. So now if you know what are rational numbers, irrational numbers are the numbers which cannot be expressed in the form of P by Q. Example, all root numbers what we talk about. We cannot express them in the form of P by Q because they are recurring, they are non-terminating. Now what do you mean by recurring, non-terminating? You will understand later. When we divide some numbers, what will happen? You get a remainder 0 or it will stop there, right? But irrational numbers, it does not give it gives out a remainder, but it is recurring, it goes on dividing. You'll understand later once we start with the sums. All root numbers, pi is also considered as an irrational number. What is pi? 22 by 7. Try dividing 22 by 7, the division will not end. Such type of numbers are irrational numbers. Definition: the numbers which cannot be expressed in the form of P by Q are called as irrational numbers. Irrational numbers are denoted by a capital letter P, wherein in very few reference books it is given. Otherwise, they have not given anything how it is denoted. Okay. Last, real numbers. Real numbers denoted by capital letter R. What are real numbers? Collection of all rational and irrational numbers are called as real numbers. When I talk about rational numbers, it includes natural numbers, it includes whole numbers, or it includes integers, I can say, because integer includes 0, plus and minus, everything. So, a collection of all rational and irrational numbers are called as real numbers. So, these are the basic terms what you have to know before we start with the exercise of this lesson, number system. This is the basic introduction about the lesson. So, I want you all to give the lesson heading, the name as number system. Write down these points in your book and we'll begin with the exercise. So let's start with the first exercise. The question is 0 a rational number? What do you say? Yes, 0 is a rational number. Can you write it in the form of P by Q? Yes, we can write it where P and Q are integers and Q not equal to 0. So first of all, for the solution, let's write, because 0 is the only rational number which has no reciprocal. So is 0 a rational number? Yes. 0 is a rational number. It can be represented in the form of P by Q, that is 0 by 1. That's all you can write. That's the answer for the first question. Second one. Find 6 rational numbers between 3 and 4. See children, there are two methods here to find numbers between 3 and 4. Now the thing is, when they ask you to find some rational numbers between the given numbers and those are the consecutive numbers. What are consecutive numbers? Numbers one after the other. There can be a question, find rational numbers between -1 and 1. Consecutive numbers. So find the -1 and 1 are not exactly consecutive, but still, if such type of questions are asked, how do you find? So here it is found out by a particular type of a method which is called as arithmetic mean method. So here it's quite lengthy method. So what we will do here is find 6 rational numbers between 3 and 4. I'll first find that by arithmetic mean method. If in case in the exam, here in the textbook, nowhere they have mentioned about arithmetic mean method. But sometimes they teach you all in your school this method and they stress upon to do by same method only. It's up to you, whatever your teacher tells. But to find 6 numbers, any method can be adopted. Particularly asked, it has to be done by similar method. So what is this arithmetic mean method? What do you mean by mean? Mean is sum of two numbers or sum of the numbers divided by number of numbers. So we take average of your marks, right? What is average? Sum of the score divided by total number of score. Similarly here, it is nothing but taking sum of two numbers divided by number of numbers, that is 2. So how do we do here for the first step? We will do stepwise. I'll do both the methods and show you. Arithmetic mean method, when we have for 3 and 4, the first step is we add both the numbers, divide by 2. As I have told you, sum of two numbers divided by number of numbers. What answer I got? 7 by 2. 7 by 2 is my first rational number. Between 3 and 4, 7 by 2 is first. How many I have to find? I have to find 5 more. Second part. One thing you always remember, numbers are outside the margin. Inside the margin are always the sub-questions. 7 by 2 you got. You want numbers between 3 and 4, right? So take the first term here, 3 plus 7 by 2 divided by 2. Why divided by 2? I am taking mean of two numbers. That is why two numbers are there divided by 2. So LCM of this is 2 into 2. 3 2s are 6 plus 7 by 2. This 2 is there, right? Reciprocal will become 1 by 2, right? So what is the number? 6 plus 7? 13 by 2 into 2 is 4. 13 by 4 is the next number. Now, third step. What I have to do? 3 plus 13 by 4 divided by 2. Again mean. So take LCM here. LCM is 4 into 4. 4 3s are 12. 12 plus 13 into this 2 will become reciprocal 1 by 2. So the answer is 12 plus 13, 25 by 4 2s are 8. How many numbers over? 3 numbers over. Okay, we'll do the remaining 3 this side. It has to be done below fourth one. So fourth one, what you do? 25 by 3 plus 25 by 8 divided by 2. That is equal to 8 LCM. 8 3s are 24 plus 25 divided by 8 into 2 reciprocal. See here, this is 2 means nothing but 2 by 1. Reciprocal when you take 1 by 2. So 24 plus 25 is 49 by 8 2s are 16. So the next number is 49 by 16. 2 more numbers to be found out. Fifth one. 49 by 16. Sorry, 3 plus I have to write. 3 plus 49 by 16 whole divided by 2. So 16 3s are 48. So 48 plus 49 divided by 16 into 1 by 2. So 16 2s is 32. 48 plus 49. So you will get the next number as here 97 upon 32. Okay, correct? (97 by 32), which is our fifth number. Now the last number we have to see, sixth number. So sixth number is 3 plus 97 by 32 divided by 2. So 32 is the LCM. So it is 96 plus 97, right? Divided by 32 into 1 by 2, reciprocal. 96 plus 97 is 193 divided by 32 2s is 64. Okay, therefore give the conclusion. The 6 rational numbers between 3 and 4 are, first one is 7 by 2, second one is 13 by 4, next one is 25 by 8, then it is 49 by 16, then it is 97 by 32 and 193 by 64. If they ask any more numbers, again 3 plus 193 by 64. This is a lengthier method and this is arithmetic mean method. Okay. In case if in your school they have done this and they have asked you all to do this method, you all can go ahead. Otherwise, there is another very easy method which we will do after this. I want you all to copy this down. So another method, 6 rational numbers between 3 and 4. Since they have asked you 6 rational numbers, so rule wise, number of rational numbers plus 1 will give you 7. So what we will do now here is 3. So nothing but it is 3 by 1 into 7 we will find. How much do you get? So 7 3s are, it is 21 by 7. And the next is 4. Whatever number you are multiplying with this, the same thing to that. 4 is nothing but 4 by 1. into 7 into 7. Why did I choose 7? Can I choose anything else? Yes, up to you. Take off. See, I took 7 because they have asked me 6 rational numbers. So 6 plus 1, 7. Take off 10 if you want. Multiply and divide both by 10. That's okay. Depending upon the number of rational numbers. So 7 fours is 28 divided by 7. Now, can you find rational numbers between 21 by 7 and 28 by 7? Yes. So 6 rational numbers between 3 and 4, that is 21 by 7 and 28 by 7 are, write down numbers of your choice. 22 by 7, 23 by 7, 24 by 7, 25 by 7, 26 by 7, 27 by 7. This is the answer. Okay, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But teacher, this answer is different from the previous one. If you say yes, it is different. But when you divide that and see the numbers in the decimal, what you get, it is again between 3 and 4 only. Now, for example, I will not choose this method. I will directly assume that numbers are given. I will consider 3 by 1 and multiply this by 10, this also by 10. How much did I get? 30 by 10 I got. I have the numbers as 4. Divide, I assume that it is by 1. I multiply this by 10, this also by 10. So what did I get? I got 40 by 10. 30 by 10 and 40 by 10. Can I find rational numbers? Only 6 I want. So okay, I choose only even numbers or odd numbers. Up to you. 32 by 10. 34 by 10. 36 by 10. 38 by 10. 39 by 10, how many over? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I will choose one more. 35 by 10. Did I get? That means everybody can't be getting the same answer. Now I have done this method, so you will copy down this. Tomorrow in exam you feel like doing that with 10 and 10, go ahead. It has to be correct and it will be correct. So that is how you find out between these two numbers. So I will drop this one. I'll stick to one which I have written. So now you see which method do you want to follow. Sometimes in your school your teachers tell that no, it has to be done whatever method your teacher has done. So please go to it. It will be either this method or the previous method what I have done. So the next one, see arithmetic mean method when we apply, that is only applied to the numbers where we have a kind of a whole numbers given 3, 4, 2, 3, 1 minus 1. Whenever we have numbers in terms of these rational numbers, that is fractions or something, we always apply this type of rule only. Okay. Look at the next one. Find. Okay, I will just erase this and I will go. I hope you all have written down this. So next number they have asked, find 5 rational numbers between 3 by 5 and 4 by 5. Now between 3 by 5 and 4 by 5, if I have to find, there can be many. How many rational numbers are there between two rational numbers? If I ask you between 1 and 2, how many rational numbers are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, how many? There are infinite rational numbers between these two. You cannot count them. There are so many rational numbers between them. So, but we need to know. Third one, rational numbers between 3 by 5 and 4 by 5. So, here what we will do now? We want how many? 5 rational numbers. Let us equalize the denominator. Solution. You had this last year. Equalize the denominators. Because if the denominators are same, it is easy for us to find. Now how to equalize this? What number you want to equalize? Now again, they have given you the 5 rational numbers. numbers, you can use the same trick. What? 5 plus, okay, 4 plus 1. I'm sorry, 5 rational numbers, right? Yeah. 5 plus 1 is equal to 6. Use the same trick and find 3 by 5 into 6 into 6. So this will give you 6 3s are 18, 5 6 are 30, and 4 by 5 into 6 into 6, 6 4s are 24 by 30. Now see here, between 18 and 24, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, I can find 5? Yes, I can find 5 numbers. In case, sometimes when you use this trick and you are not able to find 5, you are able to find 4. At that time what we do is, we use higher number for equalizing. So it is possible, therefore, 5 rational numbers between 3 by 5 and 4 by 5, that is 18 by 30 and 24 by 30 are 19 by 30, 20 by 30, 21 by 30, 22 by 30 and 23 by 30. Again children, this might not be your final answer. It can differ based on the given equalizing denominator. Right? We'll quickly finish the fourth myth, which is true or false. The next fourth question. State whether the following statements are true or false. Give reason for your answer. First one, every natural number is a whole number. True? Yes. Every natural number is a whole number because collection of natural numbers, that is, just you can write, because 1, 2, 3, the symbol is for belongs to. Belongs to W, that is belongs to whole numbers. True. Second one, every integer is a whole number. Is that so? False. Every integer is not a whole number because negative integers are not considered in W. That is, negative integers are not considered in whole numbers. Whole numbers have only 0 and positive numbers. Third one, every rational number is a whole number. False. Every rational number cannot be a whole number. For example, 3 by 2 is a rational number, but 3 by 2 is not a whole number. 2 is a rational number, 2 is also a whole number. So we have to see all possible criteria here. So there we finish the first exercise with this true or false and give reason. Now we'll move on to the next exercise. So next exercise, there are again some true or false they have asked. State whether the following are true or false and justify your answer. So first one, every irrational number is a real number. Is it true? Yes, true. Since every irrational number is a real number. Since collection of real numbers is made up of rational and irrational number. Next one, every point on a number line is of the form square root m, where m is a natural number. So it is difficult to understand, but actually it is false. Why? Because no negative number can be the square root of any natural number. What do you mean by this? So no negative number can be a square root of any natural number. Root 9, root of minus 9 is not equal to minus 3. See, square root 9 is equal to 3, correct? That means square root 9 has two values, plus or minus root 3. Oh, but there is no number for root minus 9. Minus 9 are something called as a complex numbers. We study them in the higher classes. So we have root of positive numbers whose answers come out to be plus and minus. That is what we plot them on the number line. So false, no negative number can be the square root of any natural number. The last one, every real number is an irrational number. False. Every real number cannot be an irrational number because now 2 is a real number, okay, but it is not irrational. 2 by 3, okay, or 1 by by 3, I can say 1 by 3 is a real number and also irrational because it is non-terminating. So every real number cannot be irrational number because real number is a combination of rational and irrational. So I have written with direct statements here. You need to just copy down the question and write. There is one more here, second one. Are the square root of all positive integers irrational? If not, give an example of a square root of a number that is rational number. Once you finish this, we will again solve the next one. The next one, are all square roots of all positive integers irrational? Are all? Now for example, before I come to the solution, for example, I will just write here root 3. Answer of root 3 is not rational, it is irrational, that is, it is recurring. Answer of root 5 is also recurring. Answer of root 9 is 3. Answer of root 4, if I ask you, it is 2. So what is this 3? What is this 2? These will belong to rational numbers, right? That means what they have asked, are the square root of all positive integers? These are all positive integers, correct? Irrational. Answer should be no. So what will you write here? The square roots of, give the conclusion, the square roots of all positive integers are not irrational. They have asked with example. Example, square root of a positive integer, root 4, answer is 2, which belongs to Q. What is Q? Rational number. Square root of 9, that is nothing but 3, that belongs to Q. That is rational number. That's all the answer is, right? These are all 1 mark MCQ or fill in the blanks type of questions till now, whatever we have done. Finding rational numbers between this and this, it can be asked for 2 marks or 3 marks. Now the very most important concept of this chapter, that is how to plot an irrational number on a number line. Let's do that. Now in your textbook, they have only asked you to find the square root of, to plot root 5 on the number line. But before we start with root 5, it is, for example, if I ask you to climb the steps, you will directly not climb on the 5th step. What will you do? You will first climb on the 1st step, 2nd step, and then go to 5th step. So what we will do, we will first learn from the basics. We will first learn how to plot for root 2, how to plot for root 3, and then we will go for root 5. Once you understand the trick, you can construct many such irrational numbers on the number line. So now the question says here is, show that root 5 can be, show that how we can represent, show that root 5 can be represented on the number line. Your question should be represent root 2. Give that as question number 3 only. Give the question as represent root 2, root 3 and root 5 on number line. We will be representing 3 different on this number line. The question should be represent root 2, root 3 and root 5 on number line. So you require a scale, sharpened pencil and a compass. Most of the students, when you use your compass, what I have observed here is, first of all, this part should be very tight enough. Then the second most thing is, your compass is whatever height it is. Use the pencil always smaller to this length. Don't use such big pencil for such a small compass. I have always seen children using the full length pencil where the pencil length goes beyond this. You cannot do a proper construction with such a big pencil. Always use a pencil whose size is less than your compass size. Okay? Further things you know how to use it. The level should be same and use sharpened pencil. So, to represent this on the number line, first we'll start with root 2. Draw a line So when you represent this line here, what I suggest to you all is take 2 units as 1 centimeter so that your graph, your number line looks very neat. What do you mean by 2 units? Now this is your line what you have drawn and this is your scale. According to scale, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3 and so on, right? You draw a line such that this is 1, this is 4, this is 5, this is 6. You might be wondering why teacher is teaching us these many things. People start messaging and calling, teacher, shall I use 2 units, shall I use 3 units? So I feel like telling you from the basic. This is your scale measurement 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 unit as 1 centimeter means this is 1. This is 2, this is 3, understood? Use this so that the number line looks very neat. So let's proceed. So I'll take this as 0. Always a number line should have a negative set of integers and positive set of integers. -1, -2, 1 and 2. Okay. So first of all, to plot root 2, we should first consider this as our baseline. So which is nothing but this is 0 and this is A. I will consider here. Okay. That is point number 1. Then actually what we have to do here next is take a protractor. Keep it on the point. See the point, a protractor has a point here. That point has to coincide with this A point. Mark for 90 degree. Because in scale sometimes when you hold it might go a bit slant. So make sure it is for 90 degree and draw a small line which cuts for 90 degree. Okay. Then take your compass. Take the measurement of what you have taken here. This is the compass measurement. Exactly what one I have taken, the same measurement. Keep your compass here and cut this. Now here children, what will happen? I can't be fixing marker to this. So if I draw with this chalk, it will not be visible. So I'll just show you what you will do. Keep your compass here and cut this for that 1 centimeter. So okay, I have just drawn, that means that line is here. Put a arc there. Very clear? Put it here and cut this for 1 centimeter. Done? Now again take your scale and join these 2 points. Okay? So according to this, this is 1 unit. This is also 1 unit. This is O, this is A, this is B. Now, calculation, you should know whether it is root 2 or not. So what we will do now? In triangle, this verification is must and should. In some of your, for you are in school, sometimes they say you can skip this verification. It's up to you. I will teach the verification part here. In triangle O, A, B. So according to that, this will be 90 degree, correct? So Pythagorean theorem, what does it tell? Square on the hypotenuse is equal to square on the other 2 sides. According to Pythagoras theorem, is equal to 1 square plus 1 square. So 1 plus 1 is 2. OB square is 2 and OB is root 2. This is the verification of what we have done. That means which is root 2? See here, this is 1. In your scale it is 2 centimeter, but we consider that as 1 unit. That is what I have written. 1 unit. So this is root 2. This is the measurement of root 2. Now we have to plot root 2 on number line. So what we do is here again with this point at the center O and take the measurement of this OB. And what you do here is draw an arc which actually cuts this at here. So the arc what I can see here is exactly what I have drawn. So this point and this point, this represents minus root 2. Not minus sign is outside the root, not inside the root, and this is plus root 2. What is root 2 value? When you calculate it by division method, it is 1.1 something, 1.14 something. See here, it comes again 1.1 something only. Accurate you get it when you do it in your book. So my arc doesn't look that very perfect because I have done a free hand. I can't be showing you all with the chalk here. So this is how you represent root 2. So if you understand root 2, on root 2 we have to construct root 3. On root 3 we have to construct root 5. So you all complete this. We will start how to construct root 5. Yeah, so children, I just missed, it is not 1.1, so root 2 value is 1.41 something, it's recurring. Then root 3 we have to calculate next, I'll tell you the value. Root 5 we have to calculate next, as and when we do, I will tell you. Now, this is for root 2, you have to finish this. Now what I will do here is, for root 3, first of all, I need to construct root 2. So I will not rub, but you can't be doing this. You have to first finish this. You have, again, the next one should be root 3. So what I will do adjustments here only. But you can't be doing that adjustment there. I will just rub these arcs. Okay. Okay? Yes, I will give this as it is. Now to construct root 3, my first step is to construct root 2. That is, this much I have to finish first doing it. If I have done this much, then I have to first calculate this much. This calculation should be done. This is the first step of the calculation. For root 3, I repeat, for root 2 you finish doing. Now next is root 3. For root 3, again do the same setup what you had done for root 2 from the beginning. Only thing is you will not draw the arc because arc is for root 3. Since you got this root 2, how you got root 2? By this calculation. Now, root 3 how it is done is, this is the line what you have. On that root 2 line, keep your protractor such a way that the protractor center point, what it is there, that has to coincide with the point B, and the whole protractor has to be again straight with this line. See the way I am keep holding the protractor. Please see properly. Learn to hold protractor correctly first. Now later you will tell, teacher, I am not getting root 3. How to hold the protractor? I can't come there to teach you how to hold the protractor. So this point should coincide with B and the straight line. Correct? Mark 90. Okay? Very clear? See, this point is here with respect to the straight line and I have marked 90. Now since I have marked 90, what I will do? From B point where I have marked 90, I will draw a small straight line. Right? Now, my next thing is what? Again, cut the arc. For how much? How much did you cut this arc for? For this 1 unit you had cut it, right? 1 unit you had cut it. Take that same 1 unit here, keep it at this point and cut it. Okay, same 1 unit and cut it. So this is 1 unit what I have used to cut it. I will write here also 1. Very clear now? So the next is to join. Now this is O, this is B. This point I will name this as C. Now I will join OC. Okay. Second part of calculation. Second part of calculation, what does it tell? In triangle, I will just reduce this part. We will write here. Pythagoras theorem. Okay. Okay. Second part, in triangle OBC. angle B is 90 degree here. So I can tell hypotenuse square, that is OC square, is equal to OB square plus BC square. What reason will you write? Pythagoras theorem again. OC square you have to find. OB square is how much? Root 2 whole square. BC square is what? 1 unit, that is 1 square. Root 2 square is 2, 1 square is 1. Therefore, OC square is equal to 3. OC is equal to root 3. Therefore, OC measurement is root 3. So, now what will I do? I will take the compass, measure for OC. How much it is? Okay, I got it here. I take a compass, cut it for, I get a arc. So, root 3 measurement is 1.73. Okay, so if it is 1.73, so accurate arc I will not be drawing because mine will be anyhow freehand drawing. It's not come accurately, but kindly adjust, but you will get an accurate arc. So this is minus root 3 and this is plus root 3. This is how you plot root 3 on number line. Root 2 separate, root 3 separate, but for root 3, first root 2, then root 3. Right? So complete this. The last one we will plot now, root 5. Why not root 4? Root 4 answer is 2. You give a try for root 4. So your today's homework is root 4 you will try on number line. Okay. When you want to plot root 4 on number line, what you have to first plot? You have to first plot root 2. You have to first plot root 3. On root 3, what you plot will be root 4 number line. Now children, this is one method. I have chosen the method what is given in your textbook. There are again another simple methods, but usually everybody prefers this method only for number line. So root 4 is there, that's for homework what you will try. First you have to construct root 3. On root 3 you will construct root 4. Same techniques what you will find. Now anyhow, I will reach root 5, right? There you will learn how to construct root 3. See now this is one method and this is called as a Theodorus cycle. It was given by that mathematician. It comes like a wheel. If you want to construct direct root 5 also, there are some techniques. At the end of each session, I will tell you what other techniques can be used to directly construct the number line. That's what I told. There are several methods what we can do. So let's construct root 5 now. So what we have to do? We have to rub it and make that again for root 2, or no, make that for root 3, because on root 3 you are going to construct it. So shall I rub this root 3 point? Okay. So this is root 3. Okay. Right. So we are ready with the number line here. So to construct the next number line, first of all in your book, first you should draw root 2, root 3. On root 3 again the same old thing. What is it? Marking 90 degree. Now how 90 degree will come? This point, there is a point in your protractor also. That point has to coincide with C, with along a straight line on the protractor here. That way it has to go. So my 90 is coming here. So if 90 is coming here, I will mark 90 degree angle with respect to point C. Now after marking this, what should I do? I have to cut that for how many units? 1 unit again. Measure this 1 unit where it is. This is 1 unit. So keep your compass, cut it for 1 unit. So this is my 1 unit. Since I cut it for 1 unit, now I will join here. Okay. This line is root 2. This is 1. This is C. We'll use this point as D. Now let us see what OD will give us. In triangle OCD, angle C is equal to 90 degree. So OD square is equal to OC square plus CD square. Reason, Pythagoras theorem. What is OC square? OC square is root 3 whole square. CD square is 1. What is root 3 whole square? 3. We know that square and root will get cancelled. Plus 1 is equal to 4. What is this? We are getting 4 but not 5. So OD is equal to square root of 4, that is 2. That means right, we got 4. That means this is root 4. See, we constructed root 4. Your homework is to only construct. I have given once again for construction. How do I construct root 5 now? I have to construct root 5 on root 4. This is a lengthier method, children, what I have given you. So, on root 4, again the next one. So, how do you do? You again take your protractor. Keep that this point on D and that line should coincide with the OD. So OD line, if it is coinciding, my 90 degree comes here. So if it is coming here, then a straight line with respect to this. Since you have drawn a straight line, now take a compass, cut that for how much? 1 unit. So okay, this is my 1 unit. Since I have cut this for 1 unit, I will write here 1. Okay, join E. This point is E. So I will join this as OE. I'll do it here since I do not have a space. So, okay, we'll do it somewhere on the top. So root 5 value, I'll give it off. Root 5 value is 2.23. Okay, I'll just do in this part of calculation because if I go down it might not be very visible. But did you understand now? For root 2 only this. For root 3 this and this. For root 4 this and this. And for root 5 this and next calculation what I am doing now. In triangle OED, angle D is 90 degree. So OE square is equal to OD square plus ED square, Pythagoras theorem. OD square is how much? Root 4 whole square plus ED square is how much? 1 square. Root, square root and this will get cancelled. So see, if you take square root of 4 as 2 there, it will exactly cut on 2. So 2 square is 4, it comes the same. 4 plus 1. OE square is equal to 5. OE is equal to root of 5. So OE is root 5. Finally, we came at the root 5 point. Root 5 value is 2.23. So it has to cross the point 2. So take the measurement of OE. How much it comes? Yeah, we got it. Keep your compass on O. So it has to cross 2.23 on the scale which comes out here. Yes. So as I have told, my arc might not come clearly now. We will try to draw it. Okay, we got it. So this point and this point is minus root 5 and plus root 5 on number line. So see here, when you go on doing this, it will complete as a wheel. So that is something Theodorus wheel, what we call, given by that mathematician. Just for your curiosity, you can check with furthermore numbers on the same line. Root 5, root 6, root 7, root 8, root 9. See, this wheel goes on like this. It comes as a wheel. Those axes of a wheel, it comes here, it comes here, it comes here, it completes a cycle. You can try this at your ease time. So this is the actual calculation. There are some tricks in this calculations which I will give you after this. So please copy it down very neatly. This is to be done in your mathematics book only. Yes, Shrikar. This is one small trick to write root 5 and a higher number also, but you should know the combination. Now see here, root 5 is written as 2 square plus 1. 2 square is 4, 1 square is 1, 5, because you will have something, a number, say OC square. OC is equal to root 5, like that. But how is it possible? What is this 2 square and 1 square? That means this is your number line, okay? So 2 units as 1 centimeter, we'll stick to it. So this is your 1, this is your 2, this is your 3, this is your 4, similar as -1 and so on. So base is whatever we have taken here, it is 2. That means what I will do here is, this is 1 unit, this is 2 unit. This is my O and this is my A. OA is 2, right? Then OB is at 1 unit I will cut. So this OB is nothing but root 5, which is 2 and 1. Got the trick here? You can just do it at one instant only. But that's what, it depends in your school how they have given. Some of them will prefer that it has to come in Theodorus wheel only with all the calculations. Sometimes you can also use these smaller tricks to find it. Now don't break your head if you don't understand or what to do. If you have understood the previous one, you are very comfortable with that, go with it. In case in your school they have also told you all about this way of calculating and you are very much comfortable with this, please go ahead. The only thing is you have to plot it on a number line by proper verification. It has to be there, right? Similarly, if you have bigger numbers, say root 7, root 8 or root 11, something like that, if it is there also, you can use these techniques only and do it. But in your exams, they will not give you beyond certain numbers. Say root 5 and root 6, they will not go beyond that. If you practice it very neatly, it is very easy to do this number line, right? That's why I have given you one homework. Complete that. We'll do the next exercise in the next session. So in today's class, if you have any doubt, you can call on the same day of the video set. Thank you.